What's up everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to be touring my Sedona home here, one that we purchased with Creative Finance that I'm turning into a short-term rental. I want to show you exactly why I purchased this property for my portfolio, but also kind of give you a look around. One of the coolest features about this house is that we are on about an acre of uninhabited land behind us. So a lot of people come to Sedona to hang out, to chill. It's got some of the best hiking trails in all of America. One of my favorite features at the house is the actual outside feature, because that's the reason why people come here anyways, right? Hang out, but also get to be a part of nature. The back side of this house actually has a wraparound porch all the way from the master living room all the way back around to the kitchen. So it's really cool to come out, hang out. We kind of put some chairs out here. Because this is a short-term rental, I will most likely be putting a hot tub somewhere out here, whether that be on this corner or potentially in this corner, but just something where people can come hang out. Again, want them to be a part of nature, want them to be outside. It's one of the best parts about Sedona. We want them to be able to do that here. So as of just 3 days ago, this house was completely empty. The goal was to be able to furnish this house with ideally less than 20K. We wanted to be able to give someone that experience of being in a luxury home in an area like this, so we couldn't go cheap on the materials. We want to charge about $450 to $500 a night. I'm projecting to be making about $9,000 to $10,000 a month net in my pocket, so I was willing to spend upwards to $20,000 to furnish it to get it to that point. We wanted to make sure that when someone's here, it's elegant, it's basic, it's not too much, right? More is less with a lot of these kind of homes, especially to stay on trend. Our goal here was to do like a modern boho kind of feel, especially being in Sedona. We wanted Sedona vibes. We actually got a lot of our furniture refurbished. So one of the coolest things about setting up Airbnbs in today's market and doing these types of properties, there's so many people getting out of Airbnbs because they started doing the Airbnb arbitrages. If you're unfamiliar with those, that's when people were actually going to landlords and saying, hey, let me lease your house. And then all they would do once they had a lease in place, they would sublease the house and put it on Airbnb. Well, a lot of times those properties weren't performing. Cities are starting to crack down on Airbnbs, but most importantly, those people that are getting out of the business have great furniture that they need to sell. So like we bought these chairs for like $1 each. Crazy. If I'd bought them brand new, they're like $35 each. Cool thing about these houses that we're buying in today's market is, number one, not a ton of people play in this price point. They're afraid to put together creative deals on these, but as long as you have an exit strategy that works, man, these deals can be really, really, really good. So real quick, we bought this house for $1.15 million. It was a hybrid deal. So what that basically is a mixture of sub 2 and seller finance, right? So we brought both of those together and we actually bought the home subject to a $900K mortgage that I took over the payments on, which was $4,200 a month, principal, interest, taxes, and insurance all lumped into one payment. And the seller had about $200K in equity that he would finance me, right? So I gave him $50,000 down. He gave me a loan for $200K and I'm paying him $500 a month on his $200K. So all in all, my monthly payment is about $4,700 a month here. Obviously not including like power, internet, water, stuff like that, but really cool because $4,700 a month, this house will rent out in the neighborhood of $450 to $500 a night. And on a projection of anywhere from 70 to 75% occupancy, meaning that 3/4 of the time the house is actually rented on Airbnb, I'm going to cash flow almost $10,000 a month on this house. Again, I gave the seller 50 grand. I used a private lender who wanted to be a part of the deal, cut him in on some of the cash flow on the Airbnb, and he's like, yeah, I have 75 grand to be a part of this deal. Used his money. I pocketed 3 grand at closing and we bought the house using someone else's money. So I was thinking, literally reflecting about this the other night, like sitting on this couch, I'm like, dude, it's crazy what you can do in such a short period of time when you leverage the right strategies that buy these types of properties. So the cool thing about this specific house is that not only would it work for a short-term rental, obviously the cash flow numbers are good. You never want to buy a deal that only works in one way, right? You never want to buy a deal that only works as a short-term rental. Well, what happens if there's something, the city code cracks down and they're like, you can't do an Airbnb here anymore. Well, great, I need to have a backup plan. This property also kicks ass as a midterm rental. It would actually rent out for about $8,700 to $9,000 a month. So I would still cash flow really well there. And it also works as a long-term rental. So as a long-term rental, I could probably rent this out for about $5,400 a month. So I wouldn't be making much money there, but at least I am not losing money. But the coolest thing about this house was I used someone else's money to purchase it. And guess what? I get about a $200,000 tax write-off this year for purchasing it. So if we go on, you guys can see we have a half bath here, still kind of getting that set up. So a quick hack when setting up your Airbnbs is like, hey, how many folks can you reasonably fit into the home? So what we decided to do is we took the master bedroom. It actually has enough room to put 2 queens in there and like stagger them, and there's still plenty of space. So putting 2 queens in there instead of just this 1 king bed, because we're actually planning on putting this in there. But by adding the extra queen, we just added another 2 people that can stay in the house. But just by adding the extra queen and putting the bunk bed in, all of a sudden I can charge about $300 more per night because it can sleep more people. So definitely something to take note of. We got a 3-car garage, full laundry room. That's pretty sick. It's just a laundry room. I'm not gonna show you guys that. But ultimately, here's the office. So you can see, this is really sick. The previous owner left these, so I don't think we're actually use them. The idea is we're gonna put the bunk beds here, straight out. So if you ever wanted to like work while also being on vacation, you have a place to like kind of hide away from the rest of the people you're hanging out with, or your family, or you need to take a call. If you're anything like me, you're always working, you always got something going on. It's nice to be able to get away, have a little spot to do some work. So this is gonna kind of be like a hybrid room, like work and, you know, sleep. So, but again, I mean, you look at this, man, this is like sweet. The view, the feel of the house, everything about it. I mean, I loved it. This was like one of the bucket item lists for me personally, living in Arizona. I would always come up here. In fact, like one of the first trips I took with my wife was to Sedona. It was always one of those things that I wanted to have, right? Even if this deal made no sense at all, I would probably still buy it just because it's in Sedona. But just the fact that it does work so well, and I'm able to do so many different things with this house, make money on it, while also having a place to do our masterminds for our real estate investing group that we actually mentor. Those people who want to learn to buy these kind of properties or learn to just do more real estate deals, we're gonna have a mastermind here in August. Sick. It's great to have a place to do that, to get away. Ultimately, man, these kind of deals are out there. Anyone can do these. The conversation wasn't even that difficult. In fact, if you want a copy of the call or you want the recording of us actually talking to the homeowner and negotiating this deal, I'll drop it below, a link that you can click on to go get it. If you're not in No Fluff Real Estate with Matt Beard, definitely recommend joining, because this is the kind of stuff we do all the time. We run challenges every single month of us having these types of conversations. So guys, hopefully you like our Sedona house. Hopefully you enjoyed this video walkthrough of the house itself. Hopefully you got some value from this. If you did, please comment below if you'd like to get those recordings. Again, it's in the description of this video. Click the link, go get it. We love to learn from you. We love to work with you. If you're not in the Facebook group already, highly consider you joining. That's where we're doing this kind of stuff, again, every single month. Thank you for watching this video. We'll see you next time. Bye.